I'm John Batchelor. Mary Kissel, the editorial board of the Wall Street Journal, is here with me, and we're exploring the candidates for the Republican nomination in 2016, and we're going about this in our own anecdotal, episodic fashion. Mary and I had a happy conversation with Brett Healy of the MacIver Institute several weeks ago, looking at Wisconsin and Scott Walker, the candidacy of the governor who has been successful these last years, challenging the public service unions, and in fact the whole idea that states must spend more and take more of the people's money in order to maintain the apparatus. Governor Walker talks a good game. How does he live it? And we welcome Brett tonight because a new budget has just been proposed in Wisconsin. And Brett will guide us through where it is in the process right now. But the 2015 to 17 proposal would spend $68.36 billion in total. This is from the MacIver Institute's website where I'm taking this information. Significantly, that is less than the previous budget, 2.4% less. And that would get everybody's attention, that a governor can spend less in these days given the demands on state government. There's a twist here, a caveat, an asterisk that we'll explain in a moment. Brett, a very good evening to you. The top line is governor spends less. Is that already a controversy? Where are we in this process in Madison? Good evening to you.
Good evening, John. We're right in the middle of the budget process. As you pointed out, the governor introduced his budget earlier this year. The budget writing committee here in Wisconsin, the Joint Finance Committee, literally took their first votes yesterday in committee on the governor's budget. Right now, they're going through some of these smaller items, the smaller agencies within the budget. We're expecting new revenue numbers the first week in May, and depending how tax receipts are coming in for state government, I think that'll tell legislators exactly how much extra money or could be that they're actually down revenues, and that'll give them a better picture as to what sort of money they have to deal with the governor's budget.
Now, where is the governor looking to save money, Brett?
Well, governor, first and foremost, as you guys do, we always start with new taxes or tax increases. And the governor's 2015-2017 budget once again has no new taxes or major tax increases. Then the governor has once again put more money into property tax relief. Once again, Wisconsin taxpayers are going to see a small property tax cut in this budget, which is a welcome break from past years, and it's going to continue the third straight budget where we have property tax relief. The big saving proposal within the governor's budget is he is proposing to spin off the University of Wisconsin higher ed system into a public-private authority and take that large agency, those 30,000 bureaucrats, off of the state books. When he, in that proposal, he wants to give them greater autonomy over their own affairs so that they could seek their own savings in construction and how they run their payroll departments, some pretty common sense measures that most managers have at their fingertips, but as we all know in politics, that's not always the case.
Just a moment, Brett. I think I am understanding this. He wants to privatize the University of Wisconsin system.
The belly of the beast, right, Brett?
Mary,
this is the Democratic machine.
Can you
in
hear
Wisconsin.
the yelling behind Brett right now?
Squealing.
Are there people at your windows, Brett, as you're speaking? Can you hear them? Is there any torchlight outside tonight? Because you could be in trouble, Brett. Say that again.
No,
privatize the University of Wisconsin system. Did I hear that in New York correctly?
I don't know if you call it privatize. It's a public authority. I don't think it's fair to say it would be complete privatization of the University of Wisconsin system. There would obviously be a lot of public oversight of the new system. So while it is a dramatic change, and in my opinion, it's something that would be in the long run good for the University of Wisconsin system, and more importantly, good for taxpayers. There will be certainly all sorts of oversight and measures to make sure that the university is meeting its mission.
So, wait, Brett. The governor did this knowing that he's going to campaign for the presidency. This could be a spectacular success or a spectacular failure. Is that how it feels in Madison right now?
Yeah, right now there are some questions amongst the legislators. Anytime you propose such a bold change, again, like Governor Walker has done here, certainly legislators during the process are going to have questions. But the governor has shown time and time again, and Act 10 is obviously collective bargaining reform is the best example of this. He has the ability. He and his staff have the ability to walk legislators through, hold your hand, so to speak, and hold their hands, so to speak, and show them why something this dramatic in the end would be the best way for Wisconsin.
Now, if this doesn't happen, if he doesn't spin the system off, or there must be a diplomatic way of saying this, if he doesn't change the relationship between the people of Wisconsin and the university system, this budget will be an increase of 4.4%. So this is the difference between cutting and increasing, correct, Brett?
Correct. I think that is safe to say, and right now, I'd say that the governor is winning the debate. It's not a slam dunk by any means, and things can change quite a bit between now and late June when the budget needs to pass. But right now, he seems to be making the case that this is the best way forward. He's coupled it with another guarantee of a tuition freeze. And I think, once again, you see the governor's political smarts here. Obviously, parents of students at the University of Wisconsin system, they're not going to get too worked up in the setup and the legalese. They're going to care that, once again, for the next 2 years, the tuition bill at University of Wisconsin Stevens Point or University of Wisconsin Milwaukee is not going to go up.
So you appeal to the pocketbook of the parents, but you also appeal to the pocketbook of the homeowner with the property tax cut. Are there any other pockets to whom he's appealing? Or to which he's appealing, I should say?
It's a very conservative budget. Bonding is down, which we as fiscal conservatives always like to see. The number of state employees is down. Even if the University of Wisconsin Authority change doesn't make it all the way through, you're still going to be down 400 positions overall, which is a good thing. So there are a lot of conservative victories in this budget.
What I like here, Mary, is that we have an example in Wisconsin. I didn't know it was developing in this fashion, of young Republican candidates taking on the entitlement state, the power of the apparatus to grow and grow indefinitely, so much that the taxpayers are overwhelmed.
Well, I think what they've realized is that there's no upside to compromising on your principles, and that if you're elected into power with a mandate, then you use that mandate to actually do something rather than water down your reform in an effort to be liked, because you're never going to be liked. The taxpayers elected you for a reason. And, I have to say, John, it reminds me of Senator Marco Rubio and this terrible tax plan that he's come out with. He's compromised right out of the gate on that. I think he could take a lesson from Governor Walker.
And I want to you mentioned Rubio, Governor Christie, who's probably going to get into the contest as well, although there's day-to-day, wobbly this, wobbly that. He has directed his anticipated cuts towards Social Security, and Senator Cruz has talked about taking on entitlement. Certainly, the whole party is looking at health care. So the idea of addressing the entitlement, the apparatus that grows all the time. In fact, your Dan Henniger's written a column about this. Taking on the ever bigger state is part of the Republican conversation in 2016.
But Brett, I thought your comment about how Governor Walker can explain to legislators the rationale for these cuts or these reforms seems so incredibly important, because you can say you're going to cut, but you'll lose voters that way. You'll lose political support that way. You have to explain what you're doing.
You're exactly right, and I think what we've seen is that this is one of Governor Walker's main strengths, his ability to communicate, to articulate his position, and any observer of politics will tell you you can be right on the policy, but if you can't go out in front of the bright lights, in front of the microphones, and explain it to people in terms that they understand, so that they care about the policy change, it doesn't matter.
The University of Wisconsin system is agile. It has many teachers who are very good speakers for their position, and they have access to media. Are they fighting back?
Sure. As we said before, any bold change like this is going to have all sorts of debate and all sorts of attention. So, yeah, they have made their voices known.
Is it going to look like 2011, 2012, the recall, that scale?
No, not by any stretch of the imagination. I think you start with the fact that we're talking about highly paid professors. I just don't think your average taxpayer here in Wisconsin is going to have too much sympathy for someone who's probably making, at least 2 or 3 times more than what they are.
What's the timeline? We just have a few seconds here, Brett. How long will this play out before we know whether he wins or not? 3 weeks? 3 months?
First week in May is big because we'll get new revenue projections, and then the budget needs to pass by late June, so I think we'll know if he will win by early June.
Brett Healy is the president of the John K. McIver Institute for Public Policy. You can find details about Governor Walker's budget on the McIver Institute website. Mary Kissel, the editorial board of the Wall Street Journal and the host of Opinion Journal at WSJ Live. I'm John Batchelor.